My name is Yuki Mizuki, and most of the people call me Yuki. I am an artist from Germany, and today we're gonna look at a speed paint from me for a commission that I got from Speedy about our two D&D characters, Brontanas and Nana. I hope you like it! As you can see, I started out with the 3D models of Clip Studio Paint and then drew a sketch over them with the clothes, the hair and the accessories of the characters so that I can easily adjust the pose and the perspective at first and then do everything accordingly to that. Once I did the basic of the sketch, I started blocking in the colors and the background with simple shapes. They don't have to be that detailed yet because that's all gonna be dealt with in the rendering phase. After I had all of the elements blocked in with basic values, I started putting in a light source with those rays of light and then did the shading according to that light source where I thought that the shadow would probably hit. As a little bit of background, the characters I'm drawing are Brontanas and Nana from a D round that you can probably watch on Areza's RPG channel. It was a streaming campaign that we did, and Brontanas is the character of a friend of mine and Nana was mine. So the man is Brontanas and the girl is Nana. Also, as you can see, once I was done with the shadows, I started blocking in the very bright lights. So like where the light would probably hit the most. Brontanas and Nana are actually siblings, not by blood, but his mom adopted Nana when he found her in the woods after she left her home village. She basically had to run away because her family was attacked by a demon and fully killed, sadly, and that's basically why she was hushed out of the village, because they were scared of her since she landed the final blow on the demon. And Brontanas just found her in the woods of the Icewind Dale. She was by then very starved and very weak already, but she tried to defend herself nonetheless, so he got a little bit injured when he found her. As you can see in the video right now, after I had the shadows blocked in, I started smudging them with a specific brush that you will find below in the description. Some of you might think, why the fuck did Brontanas take her in when she attacked him? Well, she only did it because of self-defense, because she was like on very high alert from the demon attack still, and the people didn't trust her, so she started not trusting the people either. It's actually pretty interesting because I got the information after we played it that Brontanas' dad didn't really show up, or like he didn't know where he was, and he was a devil anyways, so maybe he was the devil that tried to kill Nana's whole family and only Nana survived basically. So he felt really bad for Nana when she told him her backstory. They grew very, very close together too after some period of time. And she's also basically only warming up to him. Like whenever she finds new people, she's not that open, but with him she's like very bubbly and very talkative. That's kind of how strong their bond has become after they took her in. As you can see, I started with the face because it's the focal point, and then went over to the horns thorns and then hair, which are currently being rendered in the background. I tried making it in a similar way of like the reference, and since it was supposedly a clay figure, it was a little bit complicated to make the hair like the same and still be happy with it, because it was like very blocky and it just seemed like blocks. After I had most stuff that was close to the face or very much on the face done, I went back over to do his torso, because I tried to do from top to bottom, which did not quite work out for me that well, as I noticed later. It is definitely a better approach to just do the big shapes first, because they usually take less time and you see like more progress, and then do the details. So if you're an artist yourself, keep in mind first do the big shapes and then do the smaller shapes. I remembered that I had not finished the thorns, so I had to do that afterwards, and then I went back to the arms. To be honest, with this piece of art, I started hating fur so much. There was so much fur in this whole drawing, which is normal because they live in a pretty cold region right now, since the region has been cursed. I don't know if any of you plays D&D, but we played the campaign Rime of the Frost Maiden. If you play it, maybe you've heard of it. If you don't, that's not a big problem either. You can look it up if you like roleplay. Once I had the left arm, I also did the right arm, which was a little bit easier back then because I had already done the left one, so I was kind of in a flow already with all of the fur. Also, maybe you saw that I changed a little bit of my sort of work, because I did the arms separately on another layer instead of all on one layer like I did before. Which was actually a really big help, because I could finally like do just a clipping mask on top of it and then not care if I like accidentally draw over it. So it was a huge help and time saver, because I didn't have to be extra careful. But since I tried to do it all on one layer, it also happened that I of course continued to do it on one layer afterwards. Except for specific things like the arms. So since I now had known, okay, it's better to start with like the big shapes, I started like doing the bigger shapes and stuff that I really felt like doing in that moment. So that's why I did like the boots first and then the fur on top of it next, because I knew, okay, I have to put the boots underneath the fur anyways, so let's just do it in one go. Start with the boots and then with the fur on top. For me personally, it felt like I was thinking about building an onion with this illustration, because I had to think, okay, what's like the lowest layer, or like what would be the lowest layer, and then draw accordingly to that, so that nothing goes over something where it like actually should go underneath. And with that, I finished Frontanas almost completely. As you can see, I had like the feeling that the shadows of that fur on the shoulder was not strong enough, so I redid it. And for Nana, I continued with a completely different approach, because I noticed, okay, on one layer in this particular kind of style just doesn't work that well for me, so I'll just continue it on separate layers, which actually saved me a lot of time because I was used to it, so it was easier to get that done again. Also, I didn't have to be that careful like how long my strokes are gonna be then. I still started to try and do everything that's the most underneath first, and then like only do the stuff that's on top of it, so that I still have like kind of that onion structure. First the bottom layers, then the top layers. I actually think I have to study for a little bit more, because I was basically just putting random lights and shadows and try to like adjust the overall multiply light for it afterwards. Since I did the hair pretty detailed for Nana, I went back to my client and was like, yo, do you want the hair to be maybe kind of like Nana's, so that it looks like actual hair? Or do you prefer to keep it in that clay figure way? Where they said they would like it as more realistic hair, so I went over it again and changed it. Since I had already done Brantana's face, I felt like it would be a little bit easier to do Nana's face too, so I decided to do Nana's face next. I am not sure if the lighting on Nana's face is actually correct. It feels a little bit too dark to me. But I'm still very proud of how I got the face to be still showing the depth of a face, even though I am not that happy afterwards with the lighting. And I'm speaking about this while I had already finished this artwork for about a month or something. So, yeah. I actually thought that the brush that I was using, which was I think a square shaped brush, also can be found in the description. I'm just gonna paste the Clip Studio ID there. If you don't have Clip Studio, I am not sure how you can get it elsewhere, but it's basically just it's basically just a rectangle as a shape for the brush. So there's nothing specific about it. Oh, and it has like, I think opacity about 50% only. Pretty much the smudging technique that I used is mostly the same over the whole painting. Because they're all pretty much matte fabrics, and yeah, they basically don't have that much structure usually. Like structure that's specific for some material. Yeah, after I had everything rendered out in grayscale, I went back to the base colors and tried blocking them in, which was on Brantana's way more complicated than on Nana, because I had to actually go over it with pretty much a brush that would suit everything. Once I had blocked in the colors, I decided to work on the background where I wasn't sure, do I want pine, do I want spruce, or which kind of trees do I want there, because it's winter and then there wouldn't be leaves. But lately I decided on putting on trees with no leaves. Put in a bit of snow and adjusted all of the lighting because I wanted it to be in the night. And then I just add a little bit of rim lights. So this is the finished art piece. I hope you like it and see you next time. Also, don't forget to follow, sub and like the video if you liked it, and comment down below what you would like to see next. Bye bye!